So now let's look at what we can do to increase our outcome. So if you look at this, if you look at it as a swing, and this is one way you can look at the paradigm. It is not the independent feeling or emotion that you have. It is the net sum of your feelings that dictates whether you are sending positive vibration or you are sending negative vibration. In a way, it also helps you understand that at times you can have doubts, at times you can have anxiousness, impatience. That is okay. Even if you have some questions, that is okay. Please don't think you are working against your manifestations. As long as you have the other positive feelings or feelings that are supporting your manifestations. So if you have doubts, anxiousness, impatience, that's fine. As long as you have excitement or hope or trust, because those will help you get rid of the doubts or impatience. So just remember this swing, uh, and that reflects how manifestations come or how our paradigm impacts things. I don't know if you are able to see the screen. So I wanted to make it interactive uh, slide so that we see which feeling is impacting us. So if we remove one of these, right? If I remove excitement, we have equal feelings. We are neutral. But if we remove hope as well, or any of the positive feeling or feeling that are supporting us, then we are sending out vibrations that are actually not working for our manifestations. So you see, what do you want to remove from this list? What do you want to add in this list? Because what you would do will be a determining factor in whether or not you get your manifestation, or playing a vital role in you getting your manifestation. Okay, thanks T for the compliment. Karen mentioned sometimes it can be scary to fully let go. Yes, I completely agree. It is scary to let go, but the more trust you have, you will be able to let go. So let me hear some of the feeling that you may have when you are waiting for your manifestation, and let's see how they impact.
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
My question is, backing up a little bit in the video.
Okay.
When it talked about, staying around positive people, and it specifically said, don't look at negative social media and, the news and blah, blah, blah. I find it hard to find the balance because I can't put my head in the sand and not look at the news and literally not know what's going on. But at the same time, you don't want that oversaturation and that negativity. So it's hard, especially now at the age of coronavirus, it's hard to find that, for me to find that balance between, you have to watch enough news to know what's going on in the world, but do you know what I mean? So how do you find that balance?
So that balance is basically finding your sweet spot. That is how I describe that. At times, you will be able to find that balance by using your logical mind, by understanding different ways of doing things. But at times, the understanding comes following some actions. So information can come from books, from news, from people, or from whatever we are receiving through our senses. But information and understanding also comes when we take some actions. That is what we call experience as well. So what works for one may not work for someone else. That is why I said finding the sweet spot. But I was able to, I can tell you what I did.
What?
I switched all of the news that I was using. When it all started, and I'm talking about the current situation, the pandemic. I can give examples before that as well. When it started, I was kind of following every day what is the death rate, infection rate, um, or what do you say, how it is spreading, how it started. I've watched so many documentaries on conspiracy theories, whether it's intentionally leaked or things like that. What are different responses, what are different what do you say, remedies, some home remedies, some people, some doctors coming out and coming up with some funny ways of tackling the virus and things like that. And I realized that it was all adding negativity to me, and I switch everything up out. It's been quite some time now. I don't know what the infection growth rate is. I was even focusing on what is the infection rate within my zip code. How many people died within the county, in the county that I was staying in. I'm staying in currently, and I was thinking every time it was playing on my mind, because no matter when we receive how we receive information, we have to accept positive and negative of that. While I'm getting information about what the death rate is, what the infection rate is, or how many people have died, or whatever, and what the government is doing, I was also getting the fear, the anxiety, and the other negative aspect of the information of the pandemic. And when I switched out, at least that it worked for me that way, because I'm not saying that uh, I completely forgot about what is happening in the outside world, but I'm not as much impacted. I don't see how many people are dying every day. I don't see how many people are getting infected. What is the growth rate? What was yesterday's count versus today's count? What is happening in my county? I only allow myself to follow what is happening in the news, in terms of whether we still have stay-at-home order, when do we have to go to office and things like that. And apart from that, I think I have already done quite a lot of research and findings and discoveries about um, how to keep myself protected in this situation. Social distancing, many people talk about, and every time we keep hearing that thing, and you will get different information all the time. But would that add value? You may learn something new, but you may also get something that negatively impact you deep down. So when I switched off myself from the news, from the documentary that I was watching, other things, I found myself to have less negativity around what is happening, and less concerns about how things are. And I still see this world as a pretty positive place. There's so much that is going on right now. So I don't know if that works for you, but I would say, if you're not able to find sweet spot, there are only two ways one can find sweet spot. One is by trying to understand how you are by knowledge. If not, then actions. But if those don't work, I can guarantee you will be able to find your sweet spot if you do meditation. And that is why I put so much emphasis on meditation.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm sorry
Can
if
I add
that
something?
didn't answer your question.
No, that
But,
that answers it. Thank you.
okay.
I was going to add something to that as well. That, like, for instance, with me, like a past relationship, I can always think of how did you overcome negative, family or just personal relationships. And in the instance of maybe like love, you're not necessarily sitting around looking at the sad, or I won't say sad because that's the way I started to view those things, but the romantic movies, or you're in the car and you're listening to a certain kind of music that constantly keeps you in remembrance of that situation. So I really appreciate the fact that you gave us other tools to do while you're waiting for those things, whether it's personal or, whatever the situation is, but changing up a different way of constantly being connected to that situation is definitely important.
Yeah, thank you for that. I want to also tell you one more thing, guys, and that is we sometimes have this understanding that lack of something creates problem, lack of understanding, lack of not having knowledge, lack of actions or not taking actions. There are people who are action oriented. They always say, oh, unless you take action, nothing is going to happen. You're not going to get a date if you're sitting at home. Many people will say that. So lack is not always bad, but we have this understanding, a common understanding. And when I say we, it is, I'm just generalizing things. I'm not saying everyone thinks like that, but we typically as a society think that lack of something is bad, and we always look to gain knowledge, perspective, understanding. But when we do that, we also imbibe the other aspect of that, what we get, the knowledge or experience. Even though we are looking at positive side of it, we are also taking the dark side of it or negative side of it. And if we don't pay attention to what is impacting us, the dark side impacts us more. If you are watching news to just understand what is happening and you switch off after that, you don't think about it, that's fine. But now you know the death rate is so high, this country is going through so much of pain, or there's so much of infection in this state or whatever. Now it will play in your mind. So even though you got information, now you have to deal with that as well. So unless we develop those habits to deal with the dark side of the information that we get, it is better that we don't take those action. So lack of action is a good thing in that case. If I don't expose myself to something where I can't defend myself, isn't that a good thing to do? If I don't have an umbrella or raincoat or something that can save me in the rain, isn't I'm better off not to go out in the rain? So think from that perspective as well. Don't think that lack is always a bad thing, or ignorance is always a bad thing. Just wanted to say that. So I'm gonna read some of the comment, going from the last one Lalita mentioned. I find it helpful to spend a small time in the morning to hear the news. If I hear the same thing or something that isn't relevant to me, I turn it off. Yeah, pretty good. So before I open it up for everyone for your thoughts and perspective, uh, just wanted to wind up this presentation, and then I probably would unmute everyone as well on how manifestation work or what we can do to increase the outcome or likelihood of our manifestation. Just remember this paradigm swing. If you add something to this list that is supporting you, I'm not sure if it is letting me type. Yeah. So I will be able to change things. Say I have, excitement. And if I add something more, guess what? I'm making myself or increasing the likelihood of getting things. Say if I'm doing meditation, the better I am. On the other side, if I'm not doing some of these things that supports the manifestation, or I say sulking or ruminating, or say blaming, my paradigm shifts towards negative, and I'm sending out negative vibration. Even though I still have some excitement, some trust, I'm still trying to be in the now, because the net sum of my activities or thinking or practices which opposes the manifestation is still higher than the net sum of the activities or practices that supports the manifestation. So please do remember that. Please pay attention to what you're doing throughout the day when you're trying to manifest. It's very easy to say, I'm trying to manifest something, I followed this technique, but this technique did not work. I followed this technique to the T, how it is described to be followed. You may have, I don't doubt that, though we may also look at it whether you actually followed or you think you followed. But let's assume you followed that technique, but what did you do during the other time of your day? Do you have these practices or traits that are opposing your manifestation, like doubt or anxiousness or impatience? Even though you're following your techniques, they're not going to work as efficiently or will take more time. Because let's say it this way, if you are, and this graph is only letting me add 4 items, so I'm not able to add more, so that is why I'm deleting and adding more. But then if you are doing something, say you follow your techniques, I'm just writing techniques here, a technique. When you're following a technique, you're raising your vibration that time. When you're following a technique, you're journaling, you're visualizing, you're meditating, or you are doing the vision board, or you're doing 55 by 5 or Ho'oponopono, any of the technique you're doing, you are positive that time. But after you done with the technique and if you don't do anything, you come back here. If you let your mind be still assigned or attached to the positive practices or practices that support you, you still can take advantage of being in the flow state, because that's when you are in the flow state. But if you don't, and you again come back to real world, people around you raising doubt, concerns, guess what? You again started working against you. So just remember that. It's okay to switch off at times. It's okay to say no at times to some people, no matter how dear they are. It's okay to have fear, but when you have fear, at least have this hope that you can come out of it. When we have fear, we have limiting beliefs, we have concerns, doubt, anxiety, impatience. It is because of some insecurity or lack of confidence in our ability or our surrounding or our destiny or our God, no matter what you call it. But you may not agree with me, but I'll tell you, because if you have that much trust in your God, if you're religious, then how come you have that much concern? Do you really have doubt that trust, or you think you have that trust? Where has fear come from if you have that trust? Or you really believe your destiny or your ability that much, then why is that there a fear? Unknown means unknown. Who said unknown is a negative thing or bad thing? Why do we fear unknowns as much? Unknown can be positive, unknown can be negative. Unknown can add fuel to your manifestation or take away some fuel from your manifestation. But why do we always fear unknown? Doing something that we have not done, doing something that society says, oh, it's very difficult, you can't survive on your own, in your old age you have to be with someone or whatever it is. And I'm just randomly talking here, but you get the point what I'm trying to say here. Because when we talk about something specific, we have to actually get into layers of that to understand. So I don't want to say things lightly and you thinking that, oh, so you mean we can be alone in our old age without any problem or things like that. That is a topic we have to discuss in detail if we talk about that. But what I'm trying to say is, fear about anything can come from unknown as well, and it typically comes from unknown, or not taking action, not doing things the prescribed way. And when we are doing this slides, when we are discussing this topic, don't just take what I'm saying. Take it back with you, think about it, and see what makes sense to you. It is not a rocket science that we are talking about. Everyone understands that. It's just the matter of paying attention or making ourselves aware of that. That's it. Okay. I have taken quite a lot of time. I didn't want to. So I'm sorry for that. But with that, let me stop sharing. That is the end of the slide that I wanted to show. Before I go there, though, let me end on a happy note by tilting the paradigm towards the manifestation, because I do hope that all your manifestation come true, that you get the manifestation that you have. Though that's the overall objective of having these meetings, and that is the purpose for my life as well. So with that, let me open up for you guys